Hey guys, good morning. It's Jasper Miller here, excuse me, with Miller Small Engine Repair in Madison, Indiana. Today we're going to be working on a actuator for a 2006 Arctic Cat 400. And a lot of people there's a lot of forums that are talking about these, but inside this box there's some gears that activate the four-wheel drive system, and there's been a real common problem with these, and one of our customers is working on a Arctic Cat 400, and he brought the board to me, and one of the things that we noticed is, get one of the bags here with all my parts in it, is the switch that kicks the four-wheel drive in and out of gear is this little micro switch or paddle switch. They're supposed to make a little clicking sound. I don't know if you can see that. I'll see if I can zoom in a little better. But that little paddle switch has a little actuator. And what it does is there's a rod in that box. In this box, as that rod moves back and forth, these gears spin when there's 12 volts applied to the system. There's some gears that turn. It runs a rod. And as that rod runs along the board, it bumps that little micro switch and it turns the four-wheel drive off, and if it turns the other way, it turns the four-wheel drive on, or vice versa. I'm not exactly sure which way this one works, but anyway, this switch is bad. If you look at it, it should make a clicking sound, and that one does not. So it's actually soldered onto a board, and the other day I heated it up and removed that off the board. So today I'm going to show you how to replace that. These switches are like $1.09 a piece. In order to purchase this whole assembly, which is what Arctic Cat wants you to do, it's like $380 to $400. So the customer that came to me, he said, "Jasper, is there any possible way to repair this?" And I said, "I don't know. I've never repaired it, but I like a challenge in life." And so I decided, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. So today's the day. I purchased a very nice Power Probe soldering kit. I've wanted one of these for a long time. They're very expensive. Well, I think they're expensive. They're about $70 some, but it's a very, very nice kit. And so I'm going to show you my soldering kit. I used it the other day a little bit, and it works really well. I used this yesterday on a side-by-side doing some wiring. What it does is when you attach your soldering gun, pull it off, you attach your soldering gun to that, and it actually heats this shroud up. You'll remove this little tip here. The little tip is obviously for soldering. But what you'll do is you'll attach that tip and you'll hold your butt connector in there, and you just rotate this back and forth and it melts it. It's pretty awesome. It is an expensive little kit, but I'm telling you what, it's quality. If you're looking for, if you do any kind of electrical work or wire repairs, any upfitting or custom lighting, man, this thing is really cool. I like it. So anyway, today we're going to need our soldering tool. We're going to need some solder that comes with it. There's a lot of different tips, as you can tell. There's angled, there's like flat, there's more of a chiseled style. But anyway, today we're just going to simply use the little pointed soldering tip. That's what I've been using. It seems to work quite well. When I bought it, obviously they don't sell it to you filled up. So I use the Zippo butane fuel. You just remove the cap, and you turn it upside down, and you fill it till it starts hissing out. I can't even talk right. Still, it starts hissing out, and then you know it's full. But that's what you use for that. That's not included, obviously. You got to buy that separate. You can buy that at any store. So today we're gonna, like I said, I'm gonna show you how to do this, and it is very, very, very tedious work. I don't know how to explain except to say it's extremely, extremely tedious to do these things. I'm gonna try to zoom in since I don't have all the fancy camera stuff like a lot of people do. I'm gonna try to see if I can zoom in on this so you guys can see it a little better. See if if I can tilt this down just a little bit. My camera stand, if I even bring it over here, make it a little better. There we go, that might be better. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my little butane torch on. And, well, I guess we're running. Looks like it's not running. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe I'm out of, it's possible it could be out of gas already. I did use it quite a bit. Oh, let's go ahead and fill her back up here. Looks like we're full. Doesn't take much. It seems like it fills up very, very quickly. I'm going to flip it over in the on position. There we go. That's all it took. I guess we were just low on... I guess we're on the low side as far as gas for it. The other thing I want to show you guys is I bought these switches off the website called DigiKey. DigiKey.com. They've got a lot of different style switches. And these, if you look at these switches, I went ahead and bought several because I figured I'll probably be doing some more of these, especially with doing this video. I suspect I may be having some people calling me to make their repairs, which I gladly do that. But that's the micro switch, and if you look at, you can see it's made better. It's actually got a pin in the place of the old one, so it's much better quality. So that is how that looks. Move this in just a little bit. Let's see here. Move that over there. Move this down just a little bit so we can focus on that a little better. There we go. So the old switch, like I said, the old switch is just not, it's built very cheap. It's literally built, the hinge is literally just a plastic connection. And I went ahead and bought 3 of these specific style. Ooh, goodness. Thing's definitely getting hot. Turn that thing down. I'll turn it off for the time being because it's obviously warmed up already. But the proper part number for these is a EG4935-ND. You can see that right there. That's the proper part number. And this will work for Arctic Cat. They call it an E-switch. It's I put in my notes when I placed the order, a 2006 Arctic Cat 400 four-wheel drive micro switch. That way I know exactly what that's for, because I'll probably put these bags up at some point and use them for another project. I also went ahead and ordered some left-handed snap switches. It's the same switch, it's just inverted the other direction. So if you look at the switch, there's also different lengths, like the probes or the prongs, the connections themselves. They can have different sizes. They've got literally, I think there's like 30,000 different switches. It was pretty insane. But anyway, so that's those different style switches. Let's see here. Let me make sure I got the right one pulled out here. They're really tiny. We want to make sure we got the right one here. So let's see here. Well, I thought there was a difference in lengths, but it almost looks to me like they're all the same thing. Oh no, there is a difference in length. If you hold them up, you can see that one is definitely a little longer than the other. That one's the same. That one's the same. Those two are the same. And then those two are the same. Well, here I guess I ordered the same one. That's kind of odd. Well, okay. I ordered the right one, so I've got a total of 2, 4, 6. We're only going to use one today. So, once again, part number is EG4935-N as in Nancy, D as in David. And that is the part you need to repair your switch. So here it goes. We're going to get started. And that's the old switch. We're going to leave it out of the way. Okay, so in order to make this switch work properly, let's see here. That switch is sitting there. And that switch is sitting there. If you look at the board, you can actually see there's like an angle that shows how the switch needs to go on there. So that's kind of cool. I kind of like that feature. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and... Okay, come on. Heat this dude up. All right. While I'm letting that thing heat up, I'm going to find something to set this on. That way it's not causing any issues. You know what? I think one more blade might work just fine. Hey, small engine shop. What else could a person want, right? Use an old lawnmower blade. Set it on there. That way we don't have any issues with it trying to fall on that. I'm also going to use a little piece of paper. Where this piece of paper comes in, it's going to help hold the switch in the position where it's not going to fall over, because that's important as well. So we're going to do that. Fold this little piece of paper up. Just going to lay that thing right underneath the switch. Don't need much, just enough to hold it in the up position. Boy, it's really difficult to get them lined up. They are so incredibly tiny. But hey, like I said, we're always in for the challenge, right? Let's see if we can do this without. There we go. Now we're talking. I guess I accidentally turned the heat off on that. Oops, of course I bumped it over. Okay. Alrighty, here we go. So we can tilt that in the direction where it's a little easier to see for everybody. Oh man, I need something to anchor on is what I really need. I wonder if I turn this here in a position where I can do this maybe. Come on. The most difficult part of this is probably still. That's what I'm seeing. first one, maybe. I think we got that one. Now on to the next one. Alright, I think we got that one. Now, if we do this from the back side, maybe. Alright. Switch is definitely a little up on the higher side. But I think we can still make this happen. Alright. Now let me see if I can make this here work. Okay, there's that one. Now this is going to be a fun one. Turn this thing down a little bit. All right, I think we've got it. Tedious, absolutely. Probably one of the hardest things I've ever soldered. It's crazy. Clean off the tip of this thing. I'm gonna go ahead and shut my soldering gun off. Let that thing cool down. I don't know if you can see this, but that's the new piece. Now I'll have to bend that up just a little bit because it does sit up a little bit, but there we go. So now one of the things I'm going to do is to make sure that thing lines up with that actuator, because I noticed that solder, it seems like it may have got it soldered out of the way a little bit. I'm going to give it a try, make sure that it's in the right position. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open this box up. So here's the camera over here where we can see a little better. So here's the gear mechanism right here. So the way that thing sits is this gear right here sits, there's a gear in this thing, it sits like that. So what it does is that gear sits upside down, right like that. Sits in there. Make sure those probes. Well, maybe. Do I have this right for sure? Yeah, I think I do. Well, something's turning around here. What's going on? I think I had this motor turn around. Well, that's got to be right. It has to be right. Okay, it sits in there like that. And I guess something does not seem quite right. Oh, let's see here. Like I said, the customer brought this to me. Something seems a bit haywire in my opinion, but anyway. I think that actually is supposed to sit like that. Pretty sure that sits like that in there. And that there will sit like that. Now, one of the things I'm not understanding is why is that not plugging into that? That's the other question I have. Oh, there we go. There we go. I thought something didn't seem quite right. So that sits in there like that. That seems upside down. Okay, and then this here. Aha. So that sits in there like that. However, I believe this here, though, if it's sitting back too far, and I wonder if it isn't, I may have to manipulate that switch a little bit. If you see, it's not soldered maybe quite as far over as it should. I may have to pull that over and redo that, which is fine. We can if we need to. And pull this back off. I wonder if I can just manipulate it over just a little bit. There we go. There we go. Now we're cooking. Okay, that fits a lot better. That fits much nicer. Okay, now this here motor should sit like that. And then this here, I believe, sits in there like that. I think there's a control rod that runs that distance, if I'm not mistaken. I think there's a control rod that moves back and forth. He didn't bring that to me, so I'm not really sure how that's gonna work. But anyway, okay. Anyway, it is soldered. I don't know how that goes back together because obviously I don't have the rest of that stuff. So, but it is soldered, and we're gonna give him a call and tell him that it's ready to be picked up. So the reason for creating this is just to show you that these boards can be repaired. These micro switches are available. Once again, DigiKey is who I use. My brother-in-law hooked me up with them and said, hey, DigiKey is who a lot of people use for micro switches and those kinds of things. So once again, thanks for watching. It's Jasper Miller here with Miller Small Engine Repair. And if you haven't liked our Facebook page or subscribed, or I should say our YouTube page, YouTube channel, it's Miller Small Engine Repair in Madison, Indiana. And once again, God bless you. Life's a journey, and all we can do is do our best in life and give God the rest. Thanks, and have a great day.